Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome on into another episode of the Rust Belt Rivalry podcast. I'm Brian Philos. My co host, Nick, is out this week. As you can see, Matt has taken over, another Browns fan. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. We'll be talking Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, a little bit of recap of week 16 in the NFL, and a look ahead to week 17. Matt, how are we doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I can't complain at all, buddy. I cannot complain. If this was Sunday afternoon at about 4:30, I'd have a lot of complaints, but I'm feeling better right now.
I tell you what, I was still freezing. I went to the game Sunday, so I was froze to the bone.
Was there any exciting experiences to talk about at the tailgate or anything that you saw that we didn't see on TV?
It was 80% Buffalo fans.
Mm,
It
kind of
was
figured.
even the tailgate lot. We were outnumbered by far. I hope with this new stadium that they fix the entrance policy because it was terrible. I tried to get in about 45 minutes before the game because I kept delaying myself leaving the muni lot.
Yeah.
And I stood in line, missed the whole first drive, the touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
Was not good. And when we got to our seats, there was still a line about a half mile long, it looked like, trying to get into the stadium. It was not run very well.
That sounds worse than it's been before. And the stadium wasn't even that filled, right? Like, that's crazy.
No, it wasn't. There was a lot of people behind that, like, never even went to their seats. They stayed behind by the concession stands and stuff, or watching on TVs. But it was a pain to get in. Once we got to our seats, it was good. I didn't have one Browns fan within probably throwing distance of me.
Makes you feel real comfortable, huh? In your own stadium.
They weren't bad. I got to say, Buffalo fans, I mean, they're a little rowdy. I saw about 75 broken tables in the Muni lot, but besides that, the fans were pretty good. They definitely travel well. Yeah. All the guys around me were from Canada, so they came across the border. They said about 3.5 hour drive, but nice. They were excited to get cheap beer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, with the exchange rate, I don't know how cheap it really was at the end, but
they were telling me that over in Canada, it was American dollars. It's about $60 a 24 pack over there.
Oh my God!
That's what I said. I said buy as much as you can and hide it in your car.
Yeah, no kidding. Man, well, let's dive into it here a little bit. Obviously, now you can see for those that follow, I'm a Browns fan. Matt's also a Browns fan, but we both watched the Bengals game, so we'll recap that for my my co-host, who's a Bengals fan, who was really happy that they won this game. Right, he's really happy to get worse draft positioning when they've already been eliminated from the playoffs. Matt, what did you see from this Bengals game that stuck out for you?
I think Joe Burrow's back. Too bad they're knocked out of the playoffs because the way he played was it was phenomenal. 300 plus passing yards, 4 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what you want out of a quarterback.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it was a better showing from their defense than we're used to, right, for the Bengals. But I mean, and I talked about this last week. We saw Quinn Ewers for a very short stint when he played Cleveland. I don't know, 6-7 weeks ago. He did not look like an NFL quarterback at that point, and nothing I saw on Sunday really made me think any different.
I think Mike McDaniel saw his job floating out the window every time he threw the ball.
Probably. But, they had Devon Achane, who he's just a beast, even despite all the losing and the bad that they've got on that team. He was doing well.
He'd be a solid Browns fan. He's already used to losing.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. And then, I mean, other than that, I mean, Chase Brown lit it up, 3 touchdowns, 107 total yards. Question for you on the Bengals, I guess. My co-host really, really wants Caleb Downs, and it looks like they're going to be drafting about 9 or 10. Obviously, the season's not over yet. Do you think Caleb Downs is going to still be there?
No.
Because I know you do a lot of mock drafts. So
every mock draft I've done so far, he's gone within the first 6.
Really? Okay.
Normally. There's some rarity to that. It depends on what I end up going with for the Browns pick if I do something crazy, but minus some crazy trade up or something weird happens, someone taking something that we're not expecting, I don't think he's going to be there by the time it gets to the Bengals unless they lose out, which they're not going to lose out because they play us next week.
I 100% agree. Now, I did see as a consolation prize from a lot of the people that I follow, one of them being Field Yates, that they're thinking that most likely Reuben Bain Jr., the edge rusher out of Miami, will fall to them. Well, maybe not fall to them, but be available for them at 9 or 10 or wherever it is.
I think I was texting you during the Miami game.
Yep.
That dude is an absolute beast, and I really wish I wish we were in a situation where we could draft based on best available instead of having so many needs. Because can you imagine him on the other side of Myles Garrett?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
85 Bears.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then but or Caleb Downs in the backfield with Myles, that'd be great too.
Can't throw it, can't run it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably a dream. Anything else, but then obviously with the Browns, you've got mock drafts of mostly what I've seen as quarterback, wide receiver, and offensive tackle, right?
Yeah. I want Tate. I mean,
Yep.
Call it favoritism for the Buckeyes, but he's big. He can catch the ball. He's a true wide receiver one for us, which we don't have. Jerry Jeudy's horrible. I mean, we're paying him over $1 million a game, and he non-existent. If anything, he's given balls away. And I think I read a stat today that they do a stat based on how many points the wide receivers favor for the teams, and he's negative 29 points. Yep. He's cost us 29 points this year.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. So like some deep advanced analytics, but it gives you a point.
The inner IT guy in me kind of digs towards the analytics. So,
oh yeah. Well, switching over to the Browns, let's recap the Browns game a little bit here. I mean, not as tough of a loss as I was expecting, to be honest. A lot closer of a game than I think we all thought. The spread or the points were Buffalo was favored by 10 points, right? So they kept it closer than that. What did you like? What did you see? I know you watched the game in person, maybe watched it again on the highlights. What did you notice?
Fannin Jr. is a beast. I honestly think I don't know what you think about this, but I think he's the offensive steal of the draft.
Oh yeah.
I mean, big boy out of Bowling Green, no name school. 2 touchdowns Sunday, rushing touchdown, his first of the season. And obviously the first catch that I missed because I was waiting in line because the Brown Stadium's terrible. And I believe he now has the rookie record for most receptions in a season by a Browns player. I think he's at 70 or 71 receptions, which I think the previous record was 66.
So here you go. I've got it pulled up. Yeah, it's actually, you're right. So yeah, currently he holds the record at 70. The next closest was Kevin Johnson in 99, Duke Johnson in 2015 was 61, and then Greg Little in 2011 was 61. So
a bunch of no-name receivers.
Well, they go down in Brown's lure since 99. I mean, come on. I mean, who could forget about Duke Johnson and Baker Mayfield talking about his contract his rookie year? That was great.
Duke was one of my favorites back then. I miss him.
Me too. I've still got a signed poster from him, and sometimes I have it in the background on my TikToks. People give me crap about that. I'm like, get out of here, man. Duke was great while he was here. Some things that I noticed. I mean, the Browns, who have seemed checked out for the last 3-4 weeks, right? In general, as a team, they looked like they were already ready for Cancun. They played a tight game, right? They actually showed up for this game.
I was impressed.
Yeah, it was nice to see. Like I said, we obviously all were expecting a 10-point blowout or more. And
I'm not going to lie, I took the Buffalo on FanDuels. So the Browns let me down twice Sunday. Lost $10 and the Browns lost. So
that's why you never gamble on the Browns, Matt. You should know by now.
I threw it in during the Muni lot. It was a little rough time.
Oh, Yeah, well, you had some encouragement there. The other thing that I noticed, I mean, the defense was hemorrhaging, right? The first 3 drives they gave up. I mean, basically they were running rampant, right? The Bills were, and they could do whatever they wanted.
We
It
couldn't
seemed like
stop Cook.
no. And after that 3rd touchdown, I don't know if they changed the game plan, if something clicked, if it was partially the the Josh Allen injury or what it was, but it was nice to see, and they slowed it down pretty good.
Yeah, I will say one thing. Miles Garrett, even though he did get his half sack, so he's even closer to the record. I understand we have nothing to play for anymore, and he is just trying to get this record now at this point. But he was so far in the backfield every single play that
Oh yeah,
there's no reason why Cook shouldn't have scored 2 more touchdowns.
yeah, that was
Well, the only
pretty.
reason is Schlesinger.
Yeah, no, he was. It was great. It was great that that did not happen. um, what what did you think? I thought a big part of this game was a struggle with the momentum. Um, you had every. It seemed like every big play. You had the 39-yard run by Judkins before he got injured. That got negated by a huge penalty, holding penalty. It was an obvious hold. But you also had Shador was driving us down, then he gets his pinky stepped on, and all of a sudden he's gushing blood. They got to pull him out on a crucial 3rd and goal. The 2 tipped interceptions, and then the failed attempt of the field goal going into the half. Not to mention, I mean, I just touched on it a little bit, but the Judkins injury. I mean,
That was the
what
worst thing I've ever seen in person.
the injury?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The Browns jumbotron panned to the play and did a replay before they realized he was hurt. And the way you saw his ankle, I was just like, we were just in awe. It was just the worst thing I've seen since Nick Chubb.
yeah, that was pretty brutal. The good news, I guess, if you want to call it that, is it sounds like it was just a clean break and there's no knee sprain, ACL, MCL, and it'll be.
His mom actually posted on Twitter today
Oh yeah,
that he had the surgery. I guess he had it today, I think, to repair it, and he's expecting about a 3 to 4 month return period before he's back to go 100%, and he's predicted to come back 100%. So that's amazing news. I mean, that kid is amazing. I mean, seeing him run this year, I don't like comparing people to Nick Chubb because Nick Chubb was one of the Cleveland greats, but he's the second coming of Nick Chubb. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm fully with you, and there's been a lot of debate. People saying he's not that good. Probably mostly people that are just looking at the stats and not actually watching the games, right? I would imagine. But one of the
Yeah.
stats that they put up in the broadcast, and I'm guessing, I'm sure they don't post it in the stands, but they mentioned that prior to the Buffalo game for this entire season, the Browns running backs, when running, have been getting hit in the backfield at 51.6%, which is like they said it. I don't know if it led the NFL or was one of the worst in the NFL, but I mean, doesn't that tell you all you need to know about Judkins and like why?
I mean, I think Junkin's average yard after contact starts about 3 field in the backfield from what I was reading the other day, which based on that and the amount of yards he still got, can you imagine if this kid had a line?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
put him on
he got
a.
voted to the Pro Bowl this week. I think today he got announced as an alternate
Did he?
as a
Okay.
rookie.
Nice.
The kids, I mean, I will be the first one to admit when they drafted him and Trevion Henderson was still on the board, I was screaming at the TV. I was like, what are you guys doing? You guys took the second best running back out of Ohio State instead of the best, and nothing to put Trevion down. He's doing amazing up there in New England, minus his injury yesterday or Sunday. But I think we got the right one on that one. I think Andrew Berry actually did something right for once.
I'm in full agreement with you on this one. I actually at the time of the pick was excited about it. It seems ironic now to talk about, but I thought that Trevion Henderson would be the one that would have the more injuries and be more injury prone in the NFL. And I thought that Judkins was more of a NFL style back to be able to take the constant hits and stuff. So, but yeah, no. So far, I mean, obviously a mixed bag, right? They've both been rookies, and I couldn't even imagine. Could you imagine if Judkins was behind the offensive line that they have over there in New England?
I mean, he'd be averaging over 100 yards a game.
Yeah,
that kid would have eclipsed 1,000 yards week 7.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The other thing I noticed, and again, I don't know what you make of this, but it seemed like the running game kind of got going actually once Judkins went down between Sanders and Travion Williams. What do you make of that? Is that anything, or just the Bills' bad rush defense?
I think it's a little bit of both, because it was kind of funny. You would hear the fans yell. The few Browns fans that were in my section, they'd announce 5-yard run by so and so, and they'd be like, "Who?" I mean, we're working with our 5th and 6th string running back now.
Yep.
I mean, it's people that, unless you're deep diving into the stuff, you probably never heard of.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I heard the guy next to me say, "Wait, there's 2 Sanders on this team."
Oh yeah, on the broadcast at one point they go, "Well, Sanders hands the ball off to Sanders, and he gets tackled by Sanders." I was like, "Oh my god!"
I missed that part.
Yeah, it was like Larry Curly Moe, who's on first or something like that, There's been some debate on the Myles Garrett getting the half sack. I think he touched him right. Like, is there any debate from your end?
I honestly got in the car and I was looking at the box scores from the other games, because obviously I missed a bunch being in the stands.
Yeah.
And I pulled up the Browns just to see what I missed, because it's kind of hard to catch everything while you're sitting in the stands and you got all those screaming people next to you, especially when they're not Browns fans. And I saw that he had a half sack, and I was like, I went to the game with my wife's cousin, and I looked at him and I'm like, when did Myles get a sack? Like, I completely missed it.
Yeah.
And he's like, he didn't. And I'm like, they're crediting him with a half sack. I'm assuming it was the at the time, I know what it is now, but at the time I was assuming it was this play. And he goes, I don't see how, but okay.
He did touch him, so.
He did. I mean, I watched the video when I got home, but I was like, okay, whatever. We're half sack away from tying the record. I really wanted to see it in person. That's the whole reason I went to the game. I haven't been to a Browns game since before COVID, before they signed Deshaun Watson. But I was really hoping to see it, but I'm kind of really hoping now that we get it against the Steelers, because Aaron Rodgers, one of the last quarterbacks, I mean, until 2 weeks ago when Phillip Rivers decided to come off the couch, one of the last quarterbacks from my childhood. I'd love to see him get pounded in the dirt once or twice by Myles Garrett, but don't think that's going to happen, though, because, I mean, I hope it happens, but after hearing what Mike Tomlin said a little bit ago, how he's telling his players, just take the penalty, don't let him touch the quarterback, don't let him get that sack. I don't know. Myles is going to have to do some work to get this sack.
Well, you can tell that pretty much every team is completely game planning for Myles that entire game. It's just insane.
They're pretty much telling the quarterbacks, the rest of the line is on you.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching Myles.
Yeah.
We'll keep him out of the backfield, but you have to worry about everyone else.
Yeah.
That's why Schlesinger got that, what?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the exact – I didn't look the stats on it, but it seemed like he was 20 yards in the backfield when Schlesinger finally got to him, when they blew the whistle, because he didn't even tackle him. They blew the whistle because he was going to kill him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was nice to see, especially from another rookie.
Which I don't know if you mind me touching on him for a second, but
go ahead.
He is by far, I think, the 100% the steal of the draft. I know he was a second rounder. He wasn't no deep round draft pick, but he is the most physical ready player I've ever seen coming out of a late round after first round draft pick. And that man is going to have years to come of being one of the best, if not the best, linebacker in the league. He's like a ball hawk.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a magnet to that ball, and he's there every single time. If he's not getting the tackle, I think he had 14 tackles this game.
I didn't look it up, but I wouldn't
be
be
surprised. 14 or 15, but I mean, God, when they drafted him out of UCLA, I was like, why are we taking someone out of UCLA? They're horrible. And I know you're not supposed to look at the team records when you're picking draft players and stuff like that, but that was my thought on the matter. But I hate giving Andrew Berry credit, but I think he hit the nail up until the Gabriel pick. I think he hit the nail on the head for every draft pick in this draft.
I agree with you, even though at the time, at the time when they announced Carson Schlesinger and Joe Thomas didn't even know how to pronounce his name, I was like, oh, here we go. Here's another guy I've never heard of. What are we doing here? So you mentioned you mentioned Berry. Obviously, Stefanski, Berry are on the hot seat. Some people I'm hearing now, most recently, that most likely is that Stefanski gets fired and Andrew Berry gets promoted is what I'm hearing most rumblings about. What are your thoughts? What would you do if you were Jimmy Haslam? And
well, first thing I would do would sell the team to somebody that actually cares about winning. Instead of just making money. This ain't no truck stop like the rest of the stuff he owns. But I mean, you can't expect much less from somebody that was a co-owner in the Steelers before he bought the Browns. But I like Andrew Berry's abilities. I don't think general manager is the right position for him. This is actually the first I'm hearing of him getting promoted instead of let go. But if we can keep him on the team in some sort of position where he can still have an insight, he's an analytic god. Say what you want about him, about his draft picking, but he's good at what he does, usually. I mean, he's had a lot of misses.
Yep.
But I think if you give his input towards a actual general manager, which I want I already picked somebody out for the position. I wish I was doing the hiring, but I want that Dodd out of the assistant GM out of the Colts. I think if we hire him and Andrew Berry can still stay on the roster and actually help the guy out, I'm all for that. Stefanski's got to go. We got to clean house.
Okay.
Love Swartz to death. Defensive coordinator. He's great at what he does. Thank you for your service. Have a nice day. There's the door. Because I'm a firm believer when you hire a new head coach, he brings in who he wants.
Sure.
You're paying him millions of dollars. Let him coach the team. There's no reason to pay someone that much money and then still do the job for him.
Yep.
But I'm a firm believer Stefanski's got to go. I mean, if you look back at some of my older videos from the beginning of the season, I was beating this like a dead horse, and I apologized every time I did it, but it's time to go. I was hoping they would have fired him after the Miami game, but that didn't happen. But I think we need a new coach and let him bring in whoever he wants. There's a bunch of names out there. Who do you think?
For a head coach? I've got my heart set. I know it's not going to happen. I know it wouldn't happen, but I've got my heart set on Brian Flores. That would be my number one candidate.
If I was going with a defensive-minded head coach, that's who I was going to go with.
And then, I mean, second to him, I would like to see Saleh. I would like to see somebody who has had coaching experience and has failed elsewhere. What's that?
Mike McCarthy?
I'm all right with Mike McCarthy. A lot of people don't like him, but I'm fine with him. I don't really know his age.
He's old school, proven winner. I mean, I know his time in Dallas wasn't as good as it should have been, but
I mean, much better than what we've had here.
My personal opinion, bring in someone like you're saying, and I'm almost guaranteeing Mike McDaniels gets fired come into the season. He's not a head coach. He is a phenomenal offensive coordinator, though.
Yeah.
Bring him as the OC or DeBall out of the former Giants coach. Bring one of those guys in that, I mean, DeBall did good with Allen. Mike McDaniels has done good. He's out of the Shanahan system. Bring one of those two in as the offensive coordinator. Find a defensive guy for defensive coordinator. I'm sure there's somebody out there.
Oh yeah. No, I'd be fine with it. Like I said, if it's a defensive guy, offensive guy, I don't really care. I want a leader. Like that's the only thing I care about.
I want somebody that can control these guys. I mean, I understand they're adults, but you're getting paid by this person to play millions of dollars to play a game. And if you're going to act up and not listen, I mean, can you imagine if Mike Tomlin was over there by when Metcalf did that with that fan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would have been like a scene out of the Golden State game last night where the coach ripped into Green and told him to go to the locker room, and he disappeared for 20 minutes, missed the whole third quarter.
Yeah, Tomlin doesn't mess around, and that's part of the reason why they're where they're at, right?
Plus 500 every year. I mean, I hate the Steelers to death. I mean, there are rivals, but Mike Tomlin doesn't have a losing record.
Nope. But
He doesn't have a winning record in the playoffs either, but that's neither here nor there. He's the Dak Prescott of coaches, I think.
Well, he'll have another chance to do it again this year, right? They'll be in the playoffs. So
I'm hoping.
All right. Let's move on to around the NFL here. Let's talk about some injuries, some key injuries that happened in the week. It seemed like half the damn Patriots roster got injured. We talked about it. Travion Henderson went down. The two tackles, Thayer Mumford, Morgan Moses. Then you have a defensive lineman, Kyrese Tyunga. Patty will probably make fun of me for trying to pronounce that. And then Demario Douglas. They still pulled a W over the Ravens, who also, I think Lamar Jackson went out, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I didn't really look into the injury too much, but it was something bruised in his back, I believe, and he's questionable for next week.
So,
which is not good for their playoff hopes.
No, and it looms large for us too. I mean, we can get into it a little bit later, but if the Ravens lose on Saturday, then the Steelers have nothing to play for. They've already clinched. So that might give us a win that I don't really want right now.
I don't want to win the rest of the year. I mean, say what you want, but I want that draft pick high as possible, even if we trade back.
Yeah, I completely agree. Other injuries, J.J. McCarthy throwing hands, so we get to see Max Brosmer back.
Their coach just announced a little bit ago, it came across my phone, it's actual fractured bone in his hand.
Oh, really? So he's probably out for the year, huh?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers broke his hand too. He had the same injury, so we'll see how tough he is compared to Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Plus, again, that they have nothing.
I mean, they got nothing to play for, though.
Yeah. Then you got Gardner Minshew, the backup quarterback.
Chiefs got the worst luck in the world right now.
Wow, I think we all feel really bad for them.
I was sitting here the other day, and my neighbor was over, and we're sitting here bullshitting, and he's like, we're talking about the Steelers, and he's like, I hate the Steelers. I'm like, to tell you the truth, I don't think there's a team in the NFL right now because of how bad the Browns have been that's actual rivalry anymore for me. So I'm like, I don't hate any. I'm like, never mind the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs.
You and my co-host would get along. He hates the Chiefs as well, but I'm like, what? We're not even in their league. Aside from that one dirty hit that should have been called in the playoffs, feels like a million years ago.
There's two people I hate in this league right now, and it's both people that hit Nick Chubb.
I hear you on that. So yeah, there's another guy I never even heard of, Chris Oladokin. That's going to be the quarterback, I guess, this Sunday for the Chiefs. So
they did just pull. I'm not even going to say the name because I'm not 100% sure who it even was, but they stole somebody off the Bills practice squad about an hour ago to be the backup.
Okay. Well, as long as they're not stealing any more offensive guards that perform well off of our roster, I'm okay with that. And then Jordan Love with a concussion. So Malik Willis.
Jordan Love cost me a bunch of money on Saturday. If he would have thrown one touchdown, I would have won like $1,100 on FanDuels, and he got that concussion. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
You hate to see it. This is why you gamble responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. So I mean, let's kind of just dive right into it. I mean, we can talk about the playoff picture here. You want to start in the AFC or the NFC? What do you prefer?
Let's go NFC.
NFC. So it's pretty almost cut and dry. I mean, you've got Carolina and Green Bay who haven't clinched yet, but it looks like everybody else is in. The only team on the outside looking in is Detroit. And then what you can't see here because the graphic is too big because of my lack of IT abilities is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and old Baker Mayfield. What do you see happening with especially with Carolina and Tampa Bay?
I actually I did a chart the other day. I was going to post it on TikTok. I never did because I fell asleep. But I got my prediction for the top 7 already. I got Tampa Bay actually beating out Carolina to make the playoffs. I do have Chicago jumping ahead of Seattle, though, in the next 2 weeks, because even though it's a long shot, but I still think Seattle going into Carolina this week. Say what you want. I already got money on Carolina to beat Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've been rooting for Chicago all year, so that'd be fine with me. See them as the 1 seed, get a nice little bye, and then what about Detroit and Green Bay? Do you think there's any chance that Detroit catches Green Bay for that 7 seed?
No.
I'm with you.
They got to win out, and I think there was like 4 other things that had to happen, and it was like it brings back bad memories of the Browns when they were close a couple times, and I was like, well, mathematically we still have a chance, but I don't think it happens.
Yeah, when it's like 0.6%, like, yeah, we still got a chance.
And it's week 7.
Yeah. Oh, don't say it. Don't go there. Don't go there, Matt. Oh my gosh. All right.
I'm a lifelong Browns fan. I'm allowed to go there. It's the only thing that keeps me hopeful.
So painful. Let's dive in a little bit on the AFC side of things. I mean, again, same deal here. I mean, Pittsburgh's not clinched yet, and then you've got Houston, who's in the lead right now for the 7 seed. Again, I'll ask you the same question. I mean, you kind of already mentioned it, Baltimore, but you see any chance for Baltimore or Indianapolis to sneak back in?
You're going to probably tell me I'm stupid, but I have the Colts sneaking in.
Over Houston?
Yes.
Well, obviously, yeah. Okay.
They were my long shot preseason. I picked them to win the Super Bowl this year. I think Phillip Rivers is going to actually do something. He's playing for that comeback player of the year. I think he's in the 2nd spot right now. I'm hoping for a long shot for them.
So do you happen to know by chance what all would need to happen for them?
I know they got to win out.
Okay.
Let's see if I got it in my notes.
Well, and they just lost to the 49ers. So, I mean, even though he has been shredding defenses.
He didn't play bad, though. Even though they lost, it just Brock Purdy dropped a brick on him, saying he were my favorite player when I was in elementary school, and then dropped, 5 touchdowns? I do not have it in my notes on what they have to do. I left that.
That's all right. I mean, at the very least, they've obviously got to beat the Jaguars this week, right? And then they play the Texans in the last game of the year. So,
all I have in my notes is they must win and get major help.
Yeah, I'm
sure. So it must have been too long to list.
Yeah. Makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's a possibility. I think Houston's just clicking at the right time right now, and
Houston will probably make it over the Colts. I just have, after that Deshaun Watson debacle, I have a deep hatred for that team.
Oh man, you can't hate the team. I mean, they made a smart move. I mean, good for them.
That's Albert Einstein level smart. I mean, they finessed us. They got us.
They sure did.
There was no other team that was going to do that.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's talk about. We'll recap the week a little bit more. I mean, was there any other games that stood out for you? Any other like major upsets that surprised you this week?
I was kind of surprised when they brought the stat up that the Titans actually beat the Chiefs, but then I realized Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing again, and wasn't as surprising. There wasn't really anything crazy for me that I remember. I was surprised the Broncos lost. This is starting to piss me off with Jacksonville. I mean, you trade back from the 5th pick to the 2nd pick, and you're thinking, oh, we're going to get a mid-teen at worst next year, and now you got a team chugging along quietly. No one's talking about them.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying all year I didn't really believe in Jacksonville, and I didn't really believe in Denver. And I think
I believe in Bo Nix.
Did you? Okay. I was going to say
I got him heavy in my fantasy teams.
Okay. Well, that wasn't a smart move for this year, but the Jags just seem to keep getting better every week, I think. Whereas
can you imagine if they had Hunter? What's his
Hunter.
name? Travis Hunter. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Brain fart. Dude goes down with an injury. He's supposed to be the next coming of Jesus for him, and
yeah, no, I could imagine. I mean, and that
scares me for next year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has not been great. I think I mean, obviously there's no surprise there, right? But he's had what, 2 good years. This is his 3rd out of 6 or 7. So I don't know. I just still don't have much faith. I mean, I think this year they're getting better and better, but I don't know.
How much of this do you think is trying to figure out the best way to put this without being a dick on Trevor Lawrence? How much do you believe this is actually Trevor Lawrence is better versus somebody finally found a scheme that works for him?
Oh, I think it's the scheme. I think it's Liam Cohen. I think without a doubt, right? I mean, I don't think there's any surprise there. And honestly, even though they were winning, Trevor Lawrence wasn't playing good for most of the year. So, like,
I mean, he had a couple games only when the guy who had him on my fantasy league played against me, but that was it.
Yeah, no, but like I said, I don't have a whole lot of faith, and it seems that I don't know most, unless you're Kyle Shanahan, most first-year coaches that show this spark or whatever, like Kevin Stefanski did in 2020, or just some of these young, bright-minded coaches. Once defenses have a whole offseason to kind of game plan for what they've seen and take away what your strengths are, I see them regressing next year. I've been surprised this whole year. So, but I do think they'll make some noise in the playoffs. Unfortunately for our draft pick, but what can you do? It's still going to be a first-round draft pick.
I'm really excited to see what they do, what them and the Bears do next year with these 2 first-year head coaches that are. I don't even count the Patriots variable. I don't count him as a first-year head coach. Obviously, he had a bunch of 7 years with the 7 years, whatever it was, with the Titans.
Yeah,
that's the stupidest team in the world for getting rid of him. I mean, you don't get rid of someone like that. I don't care. That wasn't him.
Yep, he certainly didn't trade AJ Brown. So, well, you mentioned the Bears. What are your thoughts on the Bears? I mean, you just mentioned Ben Johnson too. What are your thoughts on them as far as this year goes? I mean, are you convinced? Do you think that they can make a run? Do you think they're fraudulent? My co-host has this affinity for not liking Caleb Williams. I don't know if it's because he painted his nails one time or what, but
painted his nails and wore a dress.
Yeah.
I'm torn.
Okay.
Part of me thinks Caleb Williams isn't who he is. I think it's the same situation as Lawrence. The other part of me thinks the Bears the rest of the team's legit now. I mean, they did things right. They got a coach that's perfect for them. I really wish we were open for a head coach last year because that's who I wanted. But I kind of have them going to the Super Bowl against the Broncos, but
whoa, nice.
I have one future bet out for the Super Bowl, and it's the Bears making it. I have the Bears winning it at that.
Now, are you confident in that just because of your gambling?
I was,
or you really
100%. I was 100% sober when I made that bet.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they can beat the Rams or the Seahawks right now, but I would love to see it because
I want to. I hope.
Yeah.
But I have faith in them. I mean, as a Browns fan, you got to tie to other teams every once in a while in the playoffs because we're never there. But I would love to see a Super Bowl with teams that aren't the same 5-6 teams every year. It's kind of nice the Chiefs aren't going to be there.
100%. First time in 25 years or whatever that Brady, Mahomes, or Manning won't be in a Super Bowl or
It was
playoffs.
98?
98, so
99.
26 years. Yeah, that's a long time, man. Well, let's look at the week ahead. So what do you see? We've got the Browns are playing the Steelers. You mentioned it earlier. They're coming off of a win where I'm confident that the refs just handed that to them with 2 offensive pass interference calls in the last drive of the game for just a gift. What do you see happening on Sunday? Let's assume here for this sake that the Ravens do win, so the Steelers are actually have something to play for. What do you think is going to happen?
They are going to win.
Okay.
We're not going to beat the Steelers. I mean, unless they sit their starters. I mean, I know they're going to be down Metcalf now for some of the 2 biggest games of the year for him,
Mm-hmm.
Which is a whole nother story. It's going to be closer than people think because I think the Browns defense is actually going to step up. And I mean, it's a rival. And I'm really excited to get some tape on Shador against the Steelers because Gabriel threw 52 passes against them. And I think 4 of them were over 7 yards downfield out of the 52. So I'm hoping that shuts some people up about saying that Gabriel's better than Shador. I'm not saying Shador's the answer, but he's definitely better than Gabriel. I got us losing by less than 10 points.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like 23-16-ish.
Okay.
I do think Miles has a legit. I hope Miles gets the sack record, but if he does get it, it's going to be early on in the game. And then hopefully he gets it early on in the game so he quits trying and he actually stops people from running the ball.
Yep. I would hope for that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of very similar to what I was thinking. I've got I think he gets the sack record, and if for some reason the Ravens do lose on Saturday, I think if he gets it over Mason Rudolph, that would be just absolutely excellent cinema. But
that would be by far. I mean, I would probably have that looping in the background for the next couple of weeks. Wonder if that. I wonder if that helmet ever made it to eBay. I would have paid good money to have that helmet on my wall.
Yeah, well, I think people would pay more money to hear the recording of what actually was said. That somehow
the
got lost.
NFL somehow with 1,700 IT people lost it.
Yeah, no, but I think he gets the sack record regardless of quarterback. I think it's going to go a lot like the Buffalo game did, right? I think it's going to kind of be a back and forth. The Steelers' run game is getting good right now, right? They've been putting it on the last few weeks, and our run defense has not been great. Like I said,
our defense took like 2 steps back in the last 3 weeks, and I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think a big part of it is, well, we lost Malik Collins, but it was kind of, we were sputtering before that. Part of it is Denzel Ward's not played the last 2 weeks. Part of it, I think, is some of the rookies who are making major contributions to this team. This is the most games they've ever played, right? They've never played a season this long before. So Mason Graham, Carson Schwessinger, they're
3-4 games over their normal length of season now at this point. Yep. I guarantee you they're gassed.
Oh, yeah. So, but I'm with you. I actually am surprised how close we are. I've got the Steelers beating us out 24-20. Like you said, I definitely see Shador having a better game than Dillon Gabriel did against the Steelers earlier this year. But I think they're testing him. Obviously we don't have much to play for, right? And I think last week we saw a lot of they're like, hey, short passes, right? We want short intermediate passes. The Bills' strength is down the field. Let's not throw the ball deep down the field unless it's open, right? So I did catch some breakdown from Chase Daniels of him not even going to his first, what should have been his first read, and just automatically dumping to his second. But
there was probably 5 or 6 pass plays that I physically watched in that stadium. Fannon's 20 yards downfield, wide open in the middle field, where he would have got at least 30, 40 yards, and Shador didn't even see him. Mm-hmm. It's like he wasn't even looking for him.
That's what I'm saying, and that's not been his MO for the last, his first 4.5 games before that. So I'm kind of wondering if that was just something that they were just, maybe working on a live game, right? Like, hey, dude, focus on the short passes. Like, that was the criticism going into the game was he keeps throwing these home run balls, and then they're risky, and he can't just move the change, and blah 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 blah. But let's talk about the Bengals. They've got the Cardinals coming up. What do you see happening in this game?
Cardinals are horrible. Burrow's going to do a repeat. Chase is going to find the end zone at least once, if not twice. And Chase Brown, I'm going to say at least 2 touchdowns out of him again. I mean, I think it's going to be worse than the Miami game.
As far as like a blowout, you thinking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They got nothing to play for, but they're going to dog walk them. It's going to be terrible.
That was my initial thought, but then I thought to myself, this is the Bengals defense we're talking about here. And if the Bengals defense does not get interceptions or fumbles, they're terrible, right? Like they just give up tons of yards and tons of points. So I actually think that Jacoby Brissett's playing for something, and he's, probably as high quality of a backup as you can get in this league, right? In my opinion.
I honestly think he's going to be the starter in Arizona next year. Yeah. I think they're going to dump Kyler Murray and start in the future drafts looking for someone to replace him. But I think Jacoby Brissett, I think he's the temporary answer for Arizona to stick with him. Personal opinion, I don't know what other people feel like with that. I'm not an Arizona fan. I don't watch too many of their games unless they're on live or primetime games, which they don't get primetime games too often. But I think Jacoby Brissett has proven that he is a legitimate starter in this league, and he's going to be able to do something where they got to get rid of Kyler Murray. I mean, every year when a new Call of Duty comes out, he just either gets injured or has a downfall. Personal opinion. I never take him in fantasy for that reason.
I didn't realize there was a correlation there. That's you might be onto something there.
Do a deep dive into that one time. There's a whole thing on him in Call of Duty. He actually had something in his contract one year that said he's only allowed so much time on the game because he was doing that instead of reading the playbook.
Well, we're not too far off there, but yeah, like I said, I'm with you, man. I think Jacoby Brissett, he's not allergic to 300-yard games, and the Bengals are allergic to playing defense. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know the Bengals, again, just from kind of covering them for most part of the year, they are horrible against the tight end. And you got Trey McBride. I think my bold prediction, I think Trey McBride has a huge game. I think he puts up 2 touchdowns. And I think it's going to be a closer game than everybody expects. The over is actually 53.5 points for the total points. I think that's going to get crushed. I think it's going to be some weird scoring game, like the Bengals 40, Cardinals 38, like just some kind of weird.
I mean, I can see it. I'm a deadlock on the amount of points I think the Bengals are going to score, but I'm 100% open to Arizona actually showing up. Yeah. But I think the Bengals, no matter what, are going to win.
Well, I hope so.
Unfortunately for your co-host, there goes that any chance of drafting anybody out of the Buckeyes.
Further and further away from that number 1 pick. What about the other games? The other games that I'm looking forward to, I noticed the Texans and the Chargers are playing Saturday. That should be a damn good game. 2 damn good defenses there. And then you've got, obviously, C.J. Stroud versus Justin Herbert. And you've got the Eagles and the Bills on Sunday at 4:30. And then we already talked about the Bears, but you've got the Bears and 49ers actually at 8:20 on Sunday night. So that should be a heck of a good game Sunday night. Are any of those ones you're looking forward to, and anything else that I missed?
Let's see here. The Houston-LA game, that's my lock-in for Sunday or the Saturday game. Well, obviously there's not going to be another game during that time, but definitely going to be tuning in for that one. Already set my schedule aside for that one. I'll be in the garage with the neighbors. I think the Chargers pull that one off. I think Houston loses. Chargers have something to play for, just like Houston does, but I think the Chargers have more experience in this point.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other game you mentioned?
The Eagles, Bills, and then the Bears, 49ers.
The Eagles are not beating the Bills at home. As long as Josh Allen is healthy, he is not going to let that happen. They need to win to help their playoff spots.
Yeah.
It's going to be super close. It's going to be a high scoring game. I don't think the defenses are going to be showing up much, but I think they're going to be winging it. You're going to see a couple tush pushes. But I think the Bills pull that one off too. I actually have them locked in as a sure win in my book for Sunday when I do my FanDuel.
Okay. Well, what other locks do you have for this week? We talked about locks. I don't know how many do you have?
Denver over Kansas City.
Okay, well, yeah.
I think it's minus 1,000.
Oh, jeez.
I think it was when I looked at it earlier. I looked at that. I'm like, I don't even want to touch that on the gambling side of things, but they're going to win.
Yeah.
Kansas City doesn't even know who their quarterback's going to be at this point. I don't think so.
No.
Let's see here. I definitely have the Bengals over the Cardinals, Patriots over the Jets, Saints over the Titans, and Rams over the Falcons. Those are the only ones I'm 100% sure on and willing to put some money down.
Okay.
I do have the Colts beating the Jacksonville. So I'm not locked in on that. I don't know if I'm willing to dump any money on that, and I do have one upset for you.
Okay, what do you got?
Panthers are going to beat the Seahawks this week. The Panthers are going to win.
As crazy as that sounds, I don't think it's that crazy, to be honest with you.
I'm just throwing that out there. I didn't even see what the odds were for it. I have a feeling Bryce Young's going to pull something off. All my buddies at work were telling me I was stupid, but guess what? I got it. I got the feeling.
I was going to say, as long as Bryce Young doesn't show up, the same Bryce Young that we saw on Monday Night Football against the 49ers, I think you're onto something there. Yeah, the only two. So it looks like Nick and I both went 1 for 2 last week on our locks. And honestly, I think if Jordan Love would have played that full game, I think that my other lock would have probably hit. But that's okay. That's what happens when you gamble.
Green Bay would have scored 20 more points.
Yep, which would have hit the over in total points. Yep. So I've got the Eagles and the Bills, the over in total points, 43.5. I think that's pretty easy money. I think both teams can put up 30 pretty easily. And especially with the way that the Bills defense has been playing the last few weeks. Then I mentioned the Cardinals and the Bengals. We talked about them earlier. The over is 53.5 points for total points. I think that's going to get mashed. I mean, at the very least, I think there's 60 points put up in that game. And hell, the Bengals could be close to 53 points just on their own with Joe Burrow being so freaking hot right now. So that's about all we've got for the NFL. Little bit of preview for the Buckeyes. We did find out that they're going to be playing the Miami Hurricanes. That'll be a New Year's Eve game, 7:30. So hopefully we have another show before then. If not, let's just dive into it a little bit here before we close it out. I am getting all kinds of flack from Miami fans on TikTok. At the end of that game on Saturday, I posted and said, Buckeyes win over the Hurricanes easy by double digits. And I think I offended about half the Miami fan base and part of college football that everybody now, everybody hates the Buckeyes. So
was that one of the videos you took my advice on and
yep,
before you posted and got you the views?
Sure did.
Yeah, I sort of did the same thing.
Okay.
I got a lot of flack. I think I couldn't even keep up with the comments. I think I was sitting close to 15,000 views on that video alone. And they were, I stopped looking. They were, I don't know where these Miami fans came from, how they got on my algorithm, but you know what? Thanks for the comments. But yeah. Buckeyes are going to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
I'm glad to see we're simpatico on that.
You can make fun of me all you want in the comments. I don't care. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate the view. My opinion's not changing. I grew up in Northeast Ohio. The Buckeyes are going to win every week, no matter what, even if we're going to lose by 50, which has never happened to me.
Yeah, no. And I mean, I was surprised. I mean, nobody's had anything nice to say about Carson Beck all year. But again, all of a sudden, they put up 10 points against A&M, and now they're all bold and saying that we've played nobody and all that.
That's just like the Indiana beat us. They did a great job. I have a lot of respect for that program. A lot of respect for what Zanetti did. I mean, come on. They were the worst team in the league, 3 years ago? To this? That's amazing. Good for you. I'm proud to say somebody from the Big Ten is doing that.
Yeah.
You beat us by 3 points.
Yep.
They're telling us, they're in my comment section, oh, we pounded you guys. No, you didn't. You beat us by 3 points. Let's see how the playoffs go. If you think you can do it again, we'll see you in the championship.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, we're pretty much right in line on that. So no debate needed there.
The only thing I'm worried about with Miami is Fletcher. We have to stop him.
Yeah.
Beck's going to be his own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher, though, I mean, that kid can run the ball. He's got a set of legs on him. Mm-hmm. He is the only thing I'm worried about in that game.
Well, I mean, the Buckeyes' run defense has been pretty damn good all year anyway. So
it has, but still, there's always first time for everything.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, hopefully Matt Patricia has them ready to go. So, all right, folks, that'll wrap us up. That's another week's episode of the Rust Belt Rivalry Podcast. Browns fans, Bengals fans, stick in there. I guess Bengals fans have a lot more to look forward to right now than we do anyway. Buckeye Nation, can't wait for New Year's Eve. We got a lot to look forward to there. Matt, anything you want to say in the closing statements? Take us away.
You care if I give a shout out to my page?
Go ahead, man.
Anyone, sports page to follow, Northeast Ohio, all Ohio sports. I throw a little bit of other big sports news in there. It's Slosh Sports Talk on TikTok. I'm looking for followers. Love doing it. It's kind of a hobby of mine. So go look my page up, shoot me a follow, look at my videos. This man right here, Brian, was actually the first man I ever followed on TikTok when I opened my page up, and he's the reason I started doing what I was doing, and randomly reached out to him a couple weeks ago and found out he lives by where I work, so that's how we met up.
Oh, yeah. We're here we are. We got you on the
Here
show.
we are. Didn't take long.
Enjoying it, man. It's been fun. So
love it.
All right. Well, like, comment, subscribe. Anything you can do helps the algorithm, helps us out. So we'd appreciate it. Go follow Matt on Slosh Sports Talk. He puts up a lot of good posts, especially if you're Ohio State, Cleveland fan, any sport for that, obviously. So, all right, folks. Thanks again. Have a good night. Cheers.